Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to not Thursday night. It is Sunday, a special event, and we're going to talk about inherited and generational trapped emotions. And with this tonight, I will see if you have any, and then we'll see what it is and who you got it from. Oh, and there's Marina. Welcome. Hope you're having a good night, or should I say, middle of the morning? Early morning. So, welcome. It is a beautiful day here. There I go. Every week I talk about the weather, right? But, you know, it's sort of important. So I was going to do this from my house because I had a dog asleep on each side of me. But I decided I did Thursday night in the house with the dogs, that tonight I would do it from the office. So yeah. Yeah, sadly, it's already starting to get dark a little bit. You know, after solstice, the days get shorter. I wish it wasn't so. So we will start at 10 minutes into the hour. So we've got another 5 minutes. And with that, we will do a healing pulse. And then we will search out for those generational trapped emotions. And they're pretty much exactly the same compared to regular trapped emotions, although I do have a special sheet that is called Inherited Trapped Emotions, but for the most part, they're the same. The key is that these are related to your ancestors, and if you or someone in your family has inherited them, it can make you a lot more sensitive to whatever the issue is. And so with this, I also work on releasing it from your entire family lineage, which sometimes can be really helpful. So yes. So when we complete the healing pulse, then I'll just have you, actually we could do that now. So if you would like to know if you have a generational trapped emotion, just put yes in the comments and I will start a list right away. So I'm trying to think what else. Oh, today is show number 106. Would you believe that? That's like crazy. So, and, oh, there's Mary. Welcome, Mary. I did not get rescheduled for that show that I had told people about on Thursday nights. I was supposed to be on the Friday night Psychic Love Doctor as the fill-in host. Yeah, they said they had technical difficulties and maybe they would do it Saturday, but then I didn't hear from anybody, so a little disappointing. So welcome, Mary. So we will do our first healing pulse in about 2 minutes. And yeah, just pretty basic. Trying to think what else. So some of these lists I used to use quite a bit, and then I found that list that had the 400 negative trapped emotions. But I think I'm going to use all of these lists because sometimes different lists have different energies. So I think we will do that. And then I also have a very special list that I don't really think I've really used before. This one is all about hidden energies. And so I think I will look and see if anyone also has hidden energies that are making the whatever generational trapped emotion, making it not visible when I muscle test. Yeah, I'm sure they will, Marina. So anyone coming in, if you decide you would like me to look for a generational or inherited trapped emotion that your family might have, just put a yes in the comments. And in a moment, yeah, it does. It is pretty cool. So I think in my commercial today, I'm going to talk a little bit about some of my tools and modalities, because normally on a Thursday night, I use my simplest tools because my goal is to help as many people as I can. Some of my tools that I use are rather time consuming, and so to clear one thing, it might take 10, 15 minutes. And so that doesn't really work exactly on a Thursday night, but it makes, I think, me seem a little one-dimensional or two-dimensional on Thursday nights because it's pretty basic, but part of it is how fast it is. So yes. And it's 10 after. So let's start with our first healing pulse. Let me stop the scroll. I mainly do that because somebody on one of my older YouTube videos commented that it was so distracting. And I guess, like for me, when I'm watching YouTube, I'm focusing on the person, but she said it was terrible. So I've decided I should probably just heed her request because it doesn't really matter that much to me. Okay, let me figure it out. Okay, there it went. Yay. Okay, so let's start by thinking about where we want to receive the energy. For this particular, I think we're going to switch things up a bit tonight, but the first one, let's pick somewhere physical that you would like to receive the energy. So if you don't have anywhere in particular, I would suggest your head or your heart. Otherwise, if you've got another place in mind, that is perfect. So rub your hands together. Place your hands exactly where you want to receive the energy. I hope so, Victoria. But as long as we set the intention you'll receive energy no matter what, that's the important part. So once your hands are placed, imagine my hands on yours. And here's the most important part. I want you to breathe in these energies and be open and allowing. And for any of my new Reiki people, think about your Reiki and see if that expands the healing that you feel or the energy that you feel. And so just breathe that in. Imagine with each breath in, the healing goes a little deeper, a little further. With each breath out, imagine you are releasing and removing something that isn't serving your highest good, something that you no longer need. So just open and allowing. Just breathe that in. Okay, so that was our first healing pulse of the night. We will do another in about 15 minutes or so, usually about 30 minutes into the show, and then also again about 45 minutes into the show. So let's start with some loud, very high speed people driving by my house where the speed limit is fairly low. So crazy. So if you want me to check and see if you have any generational or inherited trapped emotions, just put a yes in the comments. So far, I've got a yes from Marina, and I've got a yes from Mary. So first with Marina, let me see which list I'm going to do. I'm also going to check and see if there's any hidden secret or anything that would make it not visible to my muscle testing. And I'm not getting she has one of those, so that is a good thing. So let's see what list I'm going to use. And we're going to use a list called the Discordant Energy Chart. So let's see what comes up. So I am getting that you do have a generational trapped emotion. So welcome back, Sheepot. You were here on Thursday. Please let me know if I'm saying your name right, because I Americanize everything. Or if you have a nickname that you would rather me call you. Alright, so let's see. Currently, in my area, it is 8:15 p.m. So, in Iceland, what time is it where you're at now, Marina? Ooh, a very interesting one has come up. Let me get... Oh, so you are a little farther west than you used to be. Oh, well, I'm glad. I don't always pronounce things quite correctly, so cool. All right, so Marina, this is a unique one. It says spiritual suicide. And so let me figure out where this came from. Yes, I do remember you're from the Philippines, she put. I have a friend that lived there for a while because she was in the Air Force. Okay, so Marina, let's find out where this came from. So this actually was from your father's side of the family. And I am going to find, I've got a diagram that talks about generations. And like if you go 3 generations back, how many people does that involve? So let me just quick find that, and I'll do a share screen just because it's actually rather interesting. I should have done this earlier. Sometimes I plan things in my head and then I miss things. All right, so let's see. But it's a rather cool little chart. It's called Generational Ancestral Math. Okay, where'd it go? Okay. I see it. I just need to find it. Ooh, I think I got it. Yay, there it is. Okay, so I'm going to just share screen just because this adds to how many people having a generational trapped emotion might affect. Okay, so let's see if I can do this. All right, so I'm going to select the screen. Yeah, it's not quite, because I want to select a particular file. Doesn't want me to do that though. Ha ha ha. Let's see what else we can do. Okay, I'm just going to have to go entire. So you'll see I have a bazillion windows open. Okay. There we go. So this, and make it just a little bigger. See, you can see. All right, so let's see. So with Marina, we had father's side. Let's see how far back, because it didn't start with the father's side. I'm just trying to move this a little bit. There we go. That way it's not distracting. So now you can see what I see for comments. Okay, so back to Marina's father's side, and let's see how many generations back. So 1 generation is parents, 2 generations is grandparents, 3 generations is great-grandparents, 4 generations is second grade. And I'm getting that that's what it is. So there are 16 potential people, actually 8, because you figure half go to mother's side, half go to father's side. So you've got 8 potential people that could have had like a spiritual suicide. And so what I think this actually means is, I'm not sure if any of you have heard the term walk-in, but it's definitely a woo-woo metaphysical type of term. So say someone wants to leave the earth plane, there might be someone on the other side who wants to come in and doesn't want to come in as a baby. And so sometimes there is an exchange where one person leaves and takes their soul and the other person comes in. And oftentimes families, friends will comment that it's like the person just changed overnight. They all have different personalities, different likes, different dislikes. And so let's release this, because especially spiritual suicide, that means you just sort of want to check out. And having this as a trapped emotion makes it easier to consider that. And so let's go ahead and release that. Because spiritual suicide, although sometimes people really need to do it, that means if you believe in reincarnation, you'll need to come back and start over. And that just doesn't sound so good. Really, Victoria, was it someone close to you? Okay, so I'm just checking. Did that release for Marina? I did get that released. So with this, if you have a tendency to go a bit dark, a bit, I don't want to be here, what I would hope you would experience is maybe less of that. So be observant, and I hope that helps, but I'm hoping this also helps with your entire father's side, because although it often skips people, generally for each generation there's usually at least one person that it is affected. Okay, so that released. Mary, you are next. So, and then I've got Mary and then Sheepot, and then let's see, I've got, so do I have, so Victoria, if you want me to do this for you, just put yes. I'm just seeing. Okay, so Mary, let's see what comes up for you. First, I'm going to see if there is anything that is hiding things, because I want to find the thing that affects you the most. And I'm not getting that there's anything hiding this. So let's see what chart I'm using. Okay, so I'm using the Emotions, Sensations, and Behaviors chart. Wow, very interesting, Victoria. That's always sort of fascinated me. Okay, so let's see what comes up for Mary. I've got my list. Mistrust Mary. So when you think about when you compare yourself like to your friends, are you more trusting or less? Because with this, you'd probably be a little bit less and more suspicious. Okay, so Victoria, I'll add you. All right, so let's see where this came from, Mary. So I'm getting it's from your father's side. And let me see how far back it goes. So one generation is parents, and then grandparents, and then great-grandparents, and then second great-grandparents, third great-grandparents, fourth great. So fourth great-grandparents, let's see. So that's 5 generations back. And if you just look at your father's side, there are 32 potential people. Wow, Victoria, that's, you and I will have to chat. That's just very interesting. So with this, there are 32 potential great, 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 great grandparents that could have brought this in. So let's release that. And what I hope this does is it brings your mistrust of people to a more neutral level. And so that way, when you are mistrustful, it's more of a intuitive, natural thing versus something that you are more inclined to be. All right, so Sheepot, you are next. So let's see what comes up for you. So let's see, just see if there's anything hidden or secret or any of my other lists. No, so that's good. I don't often check for that, but sometimes I probably should. Okay, so let's see what comes up for you. It is the, do you call this an emotion? Stubbornness? So I've got stubbornness, and it started on your mother's side of the family. So I don't know, do you have a tendency when you decide something to dig in no matter what, and that's what your decision is or your behavior is? So if so, that would sort of confirm that you have this too. So let's see how far back it goes. So we're going to see if it started with your mother, and I get it didn't. It went farther back. So let's see. You are very welcome, Mary. All right, so let's see. Ooh, this goes way back. 7 generations back. Wow, so that would be, let me just make sure I counted right. I've got 128, or no, that might mean I was wrong with Mary, so. Actually, Mary was 3 great grandparents. And so with this, Sheepot, it's 5 greats. So great grandparent. And with that, so there'd be 128 total. So if it's just your mother's side, it could be 64 potential people. And so Sheepot, this will be a good one for you to be observant of yourself. See if the next few weeks, if maybe you have softened a bit on certain stances. So I'm going to go ahead and release this, or it might be easier to be observant of, family members. And just be aware not all your family will have this, but probably a number of them will. So I'm going to just go ahead and work on releasing that. It's funny, I've done some of these generational shows. I think this might be my third or fourth time. But there's always one person that tells me, oh, wow, that's exactly right. So very interesting. Okay, I am getting that released. And Victoria, you are next. And actually, let's do the next healing pulse. And then as soon as we come back, we'll jump to Victoria. If anyone new has come in, just put a yes in the comments, and I will add you to see if you have an inherited or generational trapped emotion. You are very welcome, Shebot. Very interesting, Mary. Cool. All right, so let's do, so last time we did a physical location. So let's do, I think this time, let's send energy to our heart. And then I want you to imagine that the energy just expanding out. So I want you to rub your hands together and then place your hands in your heart. Imagine my hands on yours. And you are just breathing in the healing energy. Imagine with each breath in, it goes a little deeper, expands a little further. And so with just a few breaths, you will be totally enveloped in healing energy. Welcome, Leslie. We're just doing a healing pulse to the heart. So jump in. So just breathe that in and be open and allowing. Okay, so that was healing pulse number 2. Let me get back to the screen share and I will pull up that list. See if it'll do anything a little bit. There, now it's going to let me do this. Okay, there we go. So Leslie, if you want to participate, I am checking to see if people have generational or inherited trapped emotions. So just put a yes in the comments if you would like that. And if anyone new has come in, please do that also if you would like. Okay, so Victoria, you are next. So let's see if you have anything that is hiding me from finding something. And I get no. And let's see what list I'm using. Okay, so I'm using a list called Discordant Energy. All right, Leslie, I will add you to the list. Ooh, hostility. Let's see where this came from. Father's side. Let's see how far back it goes. So one generation is parents, 2 is grandparents, 3 is great-grandparents, 4 is second great-grandparents, 5 is third great-grandparents, 6 is fourth great, 7 is fifth great, 8 is 6th grade. 9 is 7th grade. Wow, so 9 generations back. That is crazy. Look at how many people it affects. 512, so it affects, if we just go your father's side, it affects half of that, which is 256. Very interesting. So what do you think, Victoria? Do you have moments where you feel hostility for maybe it, so maybe you feel hostility, but it feels like sometimes it's a little bit more than what it should be, or that you're more sensitive to it? So let's go ahead and release that. So I'm getting that released. And by the way, I am releasing this from your entire family lineage for all of you. Okay, that did release. Oh, and there's Amy. Welcome, Amy. I will add you to the list. Leslie is next. Okay, so let's see. First, I'm going to look and see if there's anything hidden that's preventing me from seeing things. And I get a no for Leslie. Let's see what list I'm using. Okay, I'm using the inherited issues list. So let's see. Ooh, interesting. Irrational fears. So Leslie, what do you think? Does your husband tell you that you have irrational fears sometimes? Or your kids? So this started on your father's side. Let's see how far back it goes. Wow, Victoria. Oh, so I take it that's a yes. Very interesting. Okay, so let's see how far back it goes for Leslie. Because for Victoria, way, way back. But Leslie, not quite so much. Let's see. So to start with parents, grandparents, second great grandparents, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Ooh, it actually is the same as the seventh great grandparents. Wow. Wow. Okay, so that's like 9 generations back. So let's go ahead and release that. I would be curious if you notice that you get a little braver after this, Leslie. So let's release this. Nice, Victoria. So I think after this, it'll be even easier. I'm glad you did that because you just seem so calm when I've interacted with you. But sometimes things are very deep. All right, so Leslie, I did get that released. So do any of your kids have this, Leslie? Okay, Amy, you are next. So let's see what comes up for Amy. First, I'm going to check and see if she's got anything hidden or that would keep me from finding any generational issues, and I get no. So let's see what comes up. Amy, sorrow comes up. So do you notice when you like compare yourself to your friends that you seem to be more sad than they are? And that would match up with you having inherited trapped emotions of sorrow. So let's see where this came from. So observe them, Leslie, because I cleared this from all of you. All right, so Amy, let's see where this came from. You are very welcome, Victoria. So Amy, this is from your mother's side. Let's see how far back it goes. I'm getting 5 generations back, which is the great grandparents. And so let's go ahead and release this from you and your family. All right, so did that release? Wonderful. So let me just double check and see. So if anyone else has come in and would like me to see if you have any generational or inherited trapped emotions, just put a yes in the comments. Otherwise, we will be doing something else. Okay, so, what are we gonna do now? Something a little different. You are very welcome, Amy. I did not expect to be done so quickly. So, let's see. I think we will look at negative beliefs, if there's any inherited negative beliefs. What time is it? We've got some time. So let's do, I just want to make sure I get everyone. No, I'm not getting to do that. So let's just do individual issues. So if you're dealing with, pain, anxiety, or anything like that, I'll just look for trapped emotions relating to that, not anything generational. So if you want to put what you're dealing with in the comments, we'll use the same lists, which are sort of interesting, and then we'll just clear that. So let me know what you want me to see. All right, so Leslie wants to work on a swollen knee. So let's see. And I will also check and see if there's anything hidden or secret that's holding. I'm not getting there is. Okay, so let's see. So I'm going to stop sharing the screen. Okay, so I've got Leslie. Amy's got coughing and anxiety. So I'll muscle test which one we should do. And Victoria's got headaches. Is that new, Victoria? Mary's got her right shoulder. Okay, so I think I got everybody. Leslie, Amy, Victoria, and Mary, if you come in and would like me to work on you, just put your comment in. All right, so Leslie, let's see. Apathy around age 28. And apathy is a word I don't think I've really ever said in a sentence. I've only read about it. So let's make sure Ooh, describes an absence of feeling or emotion. Do you ever just feel sort of numb, Leslie? Because that supposedly is playing a role in your swollen knee. So let's go ahead and release that. Not good, Victoria. All right, so that released. Okay, Amy, you're next. We're going to work on the anxiety. And with the anxiety, also when we do a final healing pulse, do it for your anxiety. So place your hands where you feel the anxiety the most when you're having issues with the anxiousness. All right, so let's see what, I'm not getting anything hiding it. This might be sort of unusual, but it's procrastination. Let's get an age. Around age 19. So let's go ahead and release that. So ages are sort of the hardest thing. So usually it's plus or minus a year. So somewhere 18, 19, 20. All right, Sheeput, I will add you to the list for left shoulder, right foot. So I'll probably just muscle test which one we're going to do. Because I doubt they're have the same cause, but you never know. So sometimes what comes up as an emotion are firmly tied to your issue. And sometimes they're totally not, but I always try and see if there is a connection. So was there an event or something that was going on when you were 18, 19, 20 that you really put off and it really triggered anxiety? So let's go ahead and release the procrastination. I'm getting that released. So what I'm hoping that does is at least takes your anxiety level down a notch, if not more. All right, Victoria, let's see if there's an emotional reason for headaches, and I get there is. I'm not getting that there's anything hidden or secret, so let's see what else. Self-abuse. From a few months ago. I think you know what that is, because I think I know what that is too. So let's go ahead and release this. Release all the times you beat yourself up for something. You are welcome, Amy. Marina, I will add you to the list. That would be nice, Marina. Okay, I'm getting that released, Victoria. So Mary, right shoulder. So let's see. Negativity. Let me get an age on that. I'm getting yours as recent too. Within the last year. So let's release that. I'm getting that released. So some of you that feel energy, when I tell you what it is, really think about the feeling of that and imagine it releasing, because that'll make it even more powerful. You are welcome, Victoria. I really hope that helps. Nice, Marina. That's really good. Yes, that was yours. Negativity, Mary, and it's recent, within the last year. All right, Sheepot, let's see what we're going to work on for you. We're going to work on your foot. Let's see what it is. There's nothing hidden that's blocking me from finding out what it is. Sabotage. So oftentimes sabotage is someone thinking ill will about us. So let's see. Yes, I'm glad good things are finally happening for you, Marina. Okay, so let's see what age this started at, Sheepot. Around age 18. So I'm not sure how old you are now, but oftentimes, even if you're much older, things accumulate in layers. And once they reach a certain point of accumulation, oftentimes pain or other symptoms kick in, even if you could be older. And I've found that the older you get, if you haven't really worked on things, oftentimes your physical really feels it. Okay. So even though this was way back when, you've probably had other instances that are affecting your right foot. But let's see if we can remove this and bring your issue down at least a few levels. So with sabotage, sometimes it's helpful, but not required. So normally it's someone, that, I don't know if they have this expression where you're at, but stabbed in the back. And so typically it's with words. And so with this, from around when you were 18 is female. There's someone that you worked with who didn't always like you. Okay, so I did get that to release. Move that ankle around and see if it's loosened up a bit. I would hope so. All right, so Marina, we're going to work on helping you to worry less about your mom. Wow. Well, good. So imagine that level of mean nastiness from way back then has lifted. Okay? All right, so Marina, let's see what I'm going to find for you. It's the word sour. So with this, it's not, like sour, like a piece of lemon, but sour maybe like an expression. Let's see when this was. You are welcome, Sheepot. Wonderful, Mary. So I'm hoping that this will bring you back to being healthier, getting rid of that negativity, because oftentimes negativity has a physical manifestation. So let's see what age Marina was when sour. 8. So let's release that. Very interesting. It's like, So if someone were to tell me something happened when I was 8, I don't have a lot of recollection of like events other than, like if there was a death in the family or something like that. So, but the good thing is I did get that it released. Very interesting. Time is it? 8:54. So I think let's do another healing pulse. And then I think I'm going to pick a positive word or two for the group. So let's do the healing pulse first, and then we will do the positive words for you, okay? All right, so we did physical, we did heart. I think let's do intuition, okay? And so what I want you to do is rub your hands together and imagine connecting to your pineal, which is deep in here, or if you can go at it from the side, but I usually like doing it here. So put like 2 and 2 fingers there. And then imagine my hands on yours. And so what I'm going to focus on when I send the energy to you is that the energy that you receive, if there's any calcification of that pineal, that it at least starts to crack. And so imagine the energy shimmering, and you're allowing access to that intuition that's easier without ego or other things getting in the way. You're able just to tap in. Just breathe that in. Okay, so that was our, gosh, was that our third or our fourth healing pulse of the night? So, yes, so let's see what positive words we're going to do tonight. So let's see. Let's see how many I should do for tonight. I'm going to do 3 words. Ooh, the first one is valuable. That's a nice one. Great, Leslie. Thank you for that feedback. Oh, and you know what? I didn't do my commercial. So I'll do my commercial right before everybody leaves, or right after everybody leaves, right? I'm not good at commercials. Someday. Vital. Still trying to say that word that I got from Mary on Thursday. It just doesn't sound right when I say it. It's horrible. All right, so I've got one more word. Let's see what that is. Even better, Victoria. But sometimes it's really thick, so that's why often I'll do the crack. Ooh, joyful. That's a nice one. All right, so imagine as I say these words, valuable, vital, and joyful. that you are bringing them into your heart and expanding it out. Wonderful. Okay, so let me just quick do my commercial before everybody leaves. So I'm planning on doing a Usui Holy Fire Reiki class 1 and 2, I think in October. Let me know if anyone is interested. And then oftentimes with these sessions, I just do pieces. And usually my goal is to help as many people as possible. So tonight with the Inherited, it did take a little longer compared to like a regular trapped emotion. And so just know that my toolbox actually has a lot more tools in it, but on the Thursday night or even a Sunday night, I'll focus on things that are quicker. So my most popular and effective tools when I do an hour-long session, and normally we do that on Zoom, or if you're local, we can even do it in person, but many locals decide they want to do Zoom instead, where I'll teach them muscle testing. We'll work on your overall health plus 3 issues that you want to work on, which can be physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, or relationship based. And then like my most common tools are, I've got one called 1,000 Positive and Negative Beliefs. That's really interesting because it's arranged by chakra. There are negative entities that play a role, especially in adjusting your negative thoughts, because sometimes they're not yours. And there's offensive energies which are given to you by other people, like sabotage is an example of an offensive energy. And then probably one of my most newest tools that I use on my hour-long session is dealing with subconscious splits. And that, within just a few minutes, has a really powerful reconnection and bringing the splits back together. Sometimes it takes a while. It depends on how many splits there are, where they're at, and what they are, and then merging everything back together or releasing what doesn't serve you for your highest good. So that's my little commercial. If you are interested in a possible session, let me know. I do give free 15-minute consultations where we'll talk about my tools and what your issues are. It's not really a healing, but it's more of a what can you do that might help me? Because everybody responds differently, but I do suggest you read my reviews, which are at summeravalon.com/reviews with an S at the end. So thank you everyone for coming. Thursday night we will be back to our regular schedule, working with trapped emotions, releasing negative, I was going to say releasing negative beliefs, but as the group has gotten bigger, we don't do quite as much of that, although I do some group work with that. But I'm hoping everybody had a good night. I always find the generational pieces very fascinating. So tonight, spiritual suicide, mistrust, stubbornness, hostility, irrational fears, and sorrow were the themes for things that we released. And so I'm curious. So keep me posted if you notice a difference, because I really hope you do. And it's always so really interesting to hear that, taking 5 minutes could make a big difference in your life. So thank you, and I hope to see everyone next Thursday, 7 Central. Have a good night. Bye. You are very welcome, Mary and Marina. Yes, it's always really interesting what comes up for you guys. So, gives you something to think about. Good night, Marina. Yes, I know. It's 2 a.m. there? Oh, good, Leslie. Glad to hear that. Thank you, Sheepot. Good night, Amy. Yes, 2 a.m. Oh, do good at that new job, Marina. Good night.